Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video on our knackered old pel-job EB12 mini digger. Doing stuff. Last time we did the bushes down there, or one of the bushes anyway. Took far too long, did too long a video, so I'm going to try and make this one shorter. Again, I try my best, but I end up rabbiting, like I am now. Anyway, today we're going to look at them banana links or bucket links, and we're going to have some fiddling with some pins and maybe try and get this bucket set up a bit better with pins and stuff. The other buckets over here, they seem to be the right distance between whatever those ears are called. That one may be a bit narrower, but you know, we've welded that one up to 110 mil wide, so hopefully we get rid of a lot of slack anyway. Right, let's crack on with the video. Like 1 minute 6 already. Yeah, I'll shut up, let's get on with it. There. Oh, I think that was a bit... Oh, blimey. Yeah, that's not very straight either, is it? I know it's supposed to be a banana shape that way, but I didn't know about that way. And that one's not too bad, is it? So before we put these in the press, we're going to take all the burrs off so we know we're getting it flat. Burrs or bruises, they're not flat bits. Now let's go upstairs. So we're at the press, and I'm really sorry about the lighting up here. It is horrendous. So I've got a light here, and I'll just set you up on the tripod and we'll see how it goes. Oh, and just to remind you how bent these actually are. They are pretty bad. Especially that end, look at that. This one I don't think is quite so bad. There's more at that end there. Yeah, we'll get to it and see if we can improve them. So, well, we're down on light and down on time a little bit, but as you can see, these are a little bit... Can you see it from that angle? I'll try to stand behind you. They're a bit better when you put them together. They're not too bad, they're a bit at the ends, but for what we need, I think that'll do. So what I'm going to need to do, can you hang on, I'm just going to move you. What I'm going to do is going to have to fill this area with weld. Better, see that one, can you see? If I put you between the light, what if I do, come here light, what if I do that? Is that better? Can you see that better? You can see how worn it is anyway. I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, you can see got quite, the sides aren't too bad, but obviously it needs a lot here and a lot down there. It's actually quite tight on the sides, and that one is just something in a bucket, let's say. Yeah. Right. Well, that's going to be it for me today. But yeah, I'll see you in a few seconds. So next up, now we've straightened these a little bit. They're not perfect, but they'll do. Is sort of getting these holes a bit more rounderer, a bit more round. Yeah, so the only way I can think of doing that is by splodging a load of weld around and round, and then, because I haven't got a 30mm drill, because why would you have a 30mm drill, using a hole saw. Now this ain't going to be perfect, this is by no means accurate, but oh, is going to be a lot better than what we've got there. So that's the idea. We're going to throw some weld in and around. I've cleaned all this up, and then I think I might just tack them both together, and then I made this, I just use a hole saw, that one and that one, to cut this out of a little bit of plate, just to check that it will cut metal all right. I think what I'll do is I'll tack that in where it needs to go, and then use that as a guide to guide the hole saw down, because obviously we'll have nowhere for the central drill to go. So I'll set you up and I'll buzz some bits and bobs and we'll see how it goes. So I think you get the idea. Basically just splodging loads of weld in there. I shall grind the faces flat. Oh, that's flipping hot. Same on that side. So I've got to do the rest of the holes. I'm sure you don't want to watch me do that. So let me get this done and then we'll grind them flat and work from there. Trust me to pick one of the hottest days in summer or in UK history to do a load of welding. Anyway, here we are. So it ain't pretty, but I'm pretty sure that we've got enough material to make a round hole. So all I'm going to do now is grind all the faces off, and then I can put them together and use them on my massive drill. See how that does it, and well, we'll see how it goes. What's the chances? What odds are you going to give me this is going to work with the tools I've got here? Come on, put some bets down below, come on. Let's get to grinding that excess off then. There we go. Right, it's good enough. I mean, there are some bits that I need to put another daub of weld on, but it isn't too bad. I'm not going to touch it this time because yeah, Hopefully I learn by my mistakes. Yeah, so I'm going to just touch these bits up off camera and grind them back. And then we'll set ourselves up. I'm just going to grind a few areas, tack them together. And then we'll tack this in place, in the right place. And that will guide our hole saw down through. Tidied it up. We've just put some tacks just around the place. Just to hold the two together more or less in line. You can see it's not bad. I mean, they're still a little bit twisted. You can see there's a bit of a gap there. I'm sorry for the flickering, that must be me light. But yeah, so I've just used my ichrometer and roughly got that in the middle. So now we can shove that in there, and that shouldn't wobble around too much once it's spinning. It might do a bit. Once it gets going, I'm sure it'll be fine. Well, we'll find out. So now I just need to set that up in the ginormous drill and see how we go. We've got our setup here, and it's very hot, and it's another evening because, unless you haven't guessed, I'm doing what I can in the evenings, and yeah, it's all going to be a bit jerky, and I'll try and smooth it out through the editing. But anyway, back to the matter at hand. Here we are. We're all set up, all clamped down. I've got some insulation tape just around that because it just acts as a little bit of a buffer as it goes in, because I'm sure it's going to rattle around because I had to clean up the inside of this guide. And the reason we're using that is obviously there's no hole for the, like on this one, it uses the hole to centralise the hole saw, but if you haven't got that, it'll just go blah, blah, like that. So that's what that's for. This is going to take a long time, so I'll set you up. If it takes too long, I'll stop recording and show you what happened. Right, I'll put you on stand and we'll see what happens. Right, let's give this a go, see what happens. This is just some sort of cutting fluid stuff. I'm going to keep it really wet and probably make a right mess. Woohoo! Well, that took about 15 minutes, and I do apologise, you're a bit zoomed in. I'm not used to doing that with the GoPro, but I have. Oh, well, okay, if that wasn't knackered before. There we go. Ooh, that doesn't look too bad, does it? Bit of a clean up. Sorry, you'll be in your own shadow there. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't rotate in here. Obviously, the pin rotates with it, so that doesn't matter about the finish. So yeah, I won't put you through that one. We'll just YouTube Pixies will sort this out for us. All cleaned up, all good. The only thing now is really, sorry for dragging around. It's not, you know, there's a bit of slack in it. It isn't perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. But these pins in this aren't supposed to turn. And on the rest of the machine you can see, I don't know if you can see, but they've got bars welded onto them to stop them rotating. So I've cut up just a couple of bits of bar and we're going to weld them on there. And then that'll stop that rotating, because that's sort of supposed to spin in the bushes, not in this steel. And that's probably why they got so bad, is because they've been moving around and everything. So enough waffling. Let's just belt that on there and one on there. Jobs are good. Right, let's buzz these on. There we go. That one's welded on. That one's welded on. So those two pretty much ready. I think I might just splash a bit of paint on them just to protect them, but yeah. And I'm not going to touch them again because they're flipping hot. I was just looking at this pin, just trying to clean it up, and yeah, I don't think it's seen a lot of grease for a while, do you? Dry as a bone. You just put a drill in. I can't get to the bottom though. Oh, delightful. That's got it. Perfect size. Right, I've got to go to mouth holder. All good. So here's the links, all cleaned up. I did throw a bit of black paint on just to protect them, and obviously welded those lugs on. I think I showed you that before. I do apologise if this is a little disjointed. This is days later. But anyway, got the links done. Banana links, bucket links, whatever you want to call them, they're done. And just as an aside, look! I hope it's the right size. In theory it is, but we'll see. I picked that up down near Charmouth, so about an hour away from us. 50 quid! And it's brand new, it's just been stored outside. So that one's not too bad, but that one's pretty rough. So I think we'll be chucking that on that side. Anyway, back to this. I've done a squirrel moment again. So I've been fiddling around with pins and bushings and stuff. So we've got that pin, which is what's the word? I had to weld up the end of that because it was not very good, and I've also put some weld on that and ground it flat, so we've got something, because that one's not supposed to turn, neither is this pin. So that was just a blank pin, so I've put a washer on the back of that, welded that up and cut a flat on so that one doesn't turn. And just for now, this is only temporary because I need to use it, I've just got some washers as space either side and just put some tacks on them so it doesn't wobble around too much. And now we've got that, oh excuse me, you can see, can you see that? We've got a bit of a twist on there, haven't we? So I haven't got the means to straighten that out, so I might have to phone a friend to do that. But I've just put that on to get the measurements right. So really, next up, we've got to fire up the machine, see if we can put this back on and hope it all fits together, because I haven't put it on yet. I've just done some measurements, so let's hope that it all fits. We got there eventually. Right, after a bit of faffing around and mucking about because I lost all me bits, we're there. I've greased it up. These ones I'm just going to have to fire in grease where I can, because I think on the original ones they've got a drilled, one of these type, you know, where you put in grease from the inside. So, but obviously I haven't got that one that long, but I'll throw some grease in. I was going to put some in, but I forgot. But yeah, it's all there. How does it look? Wow. That, I'm sorry if I'm wobbling you around, but it's quite heavy compared to what it was before. If I give it a wiggle, you can see that we've got slack in the hundreds there. I think it's pretty good. What do you think? I know it's a bit of a hash up with this bucket. It looks like it's for an EB22, if you can read upside down, which it must be a bigger machine. But yeah, I reckon eventually we maybe muck about with whatever these called lugs and get it to fit properly, because it's not very good having spacers in there, is it? But for now, for what I need to do, it's good. Right guys, that's going to be it for today. I've wasted enough of your time. We've mucked about, we've straightened these out, we fiddled around with some pins. I didn't show you much of the pins, I do apologise. You get it. And now we've got a bucket we can use which isn't as wobbly as it was. So that's good. And there is improvements to be made when we get the right pins and narrow it down a bit. So yeah, all good. Anyway, what do you think so far? What do you think? We'll do a price breakdown. I told you how much it was at the beginning, but we'll show you how much we're spending on it, because I spent money on bushes and pins, even though I haven't used all the bushes yet. But yeah, we'll go through. I haven't done the service yet, I know. I've got to do the electrics, got to do... Oh, I'm jibber-jabbering on, I do apologise. Right, thank you for watching anyway. If you want to follow us on Instagram, we're at Larks_workshop. And that's all I got for today. Hope to see you next time. Cheers then. Guess what?